before we get to the pond, I want to show you this tree we found. Remember last week I showed you those little galls on the tree? Look at the size of this one. This is what it looks like close up. We also spotted this fungus as well. We've come to our local pond and you'd think that no birds existed here. We can't see any of them. Definitely not a swan. You would think that maybe it's because they migrated to somewhere warmer, but actually swans and a lot of ducks still stay in England during the cold weather. They've got a few tricks up their sleeves or under their feathers to help keep them warm and dry during that time. So one way birds like swans during the winter stay warm is they have lots of layers of feathers. They have the nice big waterproof ones on the top, and then at the bottom they have tightly packed together fluffy feathers, and all of that helps trap in the heat, just like when you wear lots of layers during the winter too. So you might spot some of these ducks out and about this winter. So all of those birds stick around during the winter, even when it's as cold as this. And that's because they have a little bit of a secret. Now the feathers that they have themselves aren't any more waterproof than blackbirds, for example, except that ducks make them waterproof. So if you collected a bunch of duck feathers and made an umbrella out of it, maybe eventually it wouldn't be waterproof, because what happens is the duck produces from a gland near its tail, it produces oil. And with its beak, you've seen them kind of fluffing their feathers out, haven't you? They preen, they spread that oil on top of their feathers, and that's what makes them waterproof, because it becomes resistant to the water. And so their fluffy feathers can stay nice and dry and keep them warm, and they can dive under for food as well, which helps the pond too, because it kind of aerates the pond a little bit and makes sure that all the plants and other things inside there don't just kind of stay stagnant and get frozen. They move around a lot. So it's great that they have these waterproof feathers. Now I'm going to show you something that you could try at home to test what other things might be waterproof. So on your sheets at home you'll have a little picture of a mallard duck. We've printed off a bigger one. This one has nothing covering it, and yet these we've decided to cover them with different things. Can you hold them up for me? So we haven't tried to colour these in like mallard ducks, we've just tried to put a surface of something else over the top. So we've got felt tip markers, we've got wax crayons, and we've got oil pastels. We're going to put the same amount, 5 millilitres on each one, and just observe what happens to see if we can make our ducks waterproof just like real ducks. So let's have a look and see what happened. So this is on a plain paper. You couldn't quite tell what was happening, but when we did it on the markers, we turned it over and the colours helped see that the water was going through the paper. However, on the wax and the oil pastels, the water was repelled and it just rolled right off. So we had a bit of soup to warm up, and then we spotted something between the layers of the leaves and the soil. Icicles had formed, or ice crystals I guess. They were really interesting to look at and see the layers. So maybe when you're out you might want to look really down low and explore. You've been sitting down for a while, so we're going to get moving. If you go out to a winter pond you will get cold, so it's good to find a safe place to run around and get warm. We're going to move like ducks. So kids, okay, so if we say waddle, you have to stick your feet out and do small steps. If we say swimming, that's when you can move as quick as you can around. If we say dabbling, you put your head down and your bottom up. And if we say preening, you have to wipe that oil all over your feathers.